back to DeadTalk.
Yes.
It's only been a week, right? 2 weeks? 2 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Look
yeah,
at you
because
with
you
your...
couldn't last week, and then the week before I was just like, I don't want to.
Yeah. Look at you with your nice professional pyramid head and me over here like,
I knew that you
touch
would do a
that
thirst
ass.
trap.
Hey, Lukey.
I knew that you would do a thirst trap pyramid head, so I was like, I'll let the people indulge for Zen's birthday over on her channel, and I'll just do normal pyramid head.
Boop.
Speaking of, happy birthday.
Thank you.
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
Thank you for the sub. Holy shit, 19 months.
I know. A happy extra birthday.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Oh, goodness.
We also get to explore LA as your late birthday present.
Yes.
Technically.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited for.
I am
I
too.
found out. I found out today.
Jesus, guys. Thank you.
So Fast and Furious in LA is actually not its own ride the way it is in Florida.
Okay.
So it's part of the studio tour.
Okay.
It wasn't there when I was there last time, but Kong was, and I imagine it's the exact same setup. They literally are driving you around on the tram for like the studio lot tour, and then they pull you into a garage. And it does the same thing that it does in Kong and Fast and Furious on the actual rides in Florida, where it's just like on like a platform and it's like shaking.
As far as I'm
and
concerned,
past
that's
you.
America's
God.
ass.
Lukey! Thank you. Oh my god.
Hello, Robin.
As far as
Thank
I'm
you so much
concerned,
for this
that's
sub here.
America's
I
ass.
follow Lucy on my channel. I'm over here hyping up on Zen shit for her birthday. I wasn't even paying attention to mine. But hello, guys.
Oh my god, thank you
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
for catching up on the America's ass. It's too much. Thank you so much.
As far as I'm concerned,
But it's,
that's America's ass.
Yeah, so it's basically like they do the studio lot tour, and then they basically just force you into Fast and Furious as part of it.
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
So people don't even have a choice to not go on Fast and Furious. Like, if they do the studio tour, they're going on Fast and Furious.
Hang on. Luke, you said I had to go big as an apology for all the colonizing and shit.
Wow.
I appreciate it, but with the way our country's going, could you guys, like, take us back?
You're gonna make Zen's face hurt before we even start this.
I know. If I laugh or smile too much, my face gets all twitchy. I don't use the muscles in my face very often because I'm usually very deadpan. The tiramisu is amazing. It's all I've eaten today other than one little crab bite that Alex bought.
You're getting food after this, right?
I mean, it was so big, I might not. I mean, I
was it Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Also,
You're good for like the rest of the week.
I know. I ate the whole damn thing, and then I was like, oh, fuck, I need a nap. So I took a nap. I was going to make Velveeta shells, but then I realized the pan's dirty, hasn't gotten through the dishwasher, so.
Oh, yeah. I have to make dinner after this.
Oh,
Because I also didn't run the dishwasher. So I ran the dishwasher, and then I microwaved a couple chicken nuggets to hold me over until I could actually make dinner.
And Alex, you missed Lukey and Dino were giving me birthday presents, and Lukey gifted a shitload of subs, and my stream was struggling to keep up, so it was just like intermittent. As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass. Oh God. Yeah, it's been a good birthday so far.
Good.
It's like we went out and did Moby for a little bit, so I got to do some secret shopping.
Nice. Get some money.
Yes. So I got that. And then we went mall walking while we waited for the cheesecake. I got screwed on a rubber ducky machine. I was so mad.
Speaking of, I have one for you that
Oh my God.
I don't think you have, because I took pictures of your cabinet back when you and Alex went on your anniversary trip. So I have pictures of every duck that you have. And I'm pretty sure you don't have this one.
At some point, I really should like upload a picture of that to the Discord so people can see how many ducks I actually have. Better than being screwed by a rubber ducky machine. Well, what happened was, okay, so when we went mall walking, we saw a plucky ducky machine, which the plucky ducky machine is where like most of this all started. Because we went on a trip. I think it might have been for our honeymoon. I don't know. But anyway, we went on there. We tried the plucky ducky machine, and it does this little song. It goes, quack, 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 quack. And it's amazing, and we loved it. And you put your quarters in, and it goes down. You play until you get a duck. Anyway, so we go to the mall, and I see a calico kitty ducky, and I'm like, that's what I want right there. I don't have a calico cat duck. And it's all the way on the left side, but I'm like, we can dig that fucker out. So we put our dollar in, and it only lets you move once. And it moves the claw out to the middle first, so you can't angle it, and it will only go like this far. So I was wondering why like the entire middle part was just bare, and that was because the plucky ducky machine wouldn't let you go outside of that range.
Oh, that sucks.
So I ended up winning a turtle, and I just left it in the machine. I was really pissed. So, yeah. We got screwed by the plucky ducky machine, and we could barely hear the little the song. Because, like, that's our favorite thing. And
Speaking
Alex
of-
was like, I can't hear it. And I had my ear, like, to the machine. I'm like, no. It's there.
Two things. One, Lukey, nothing is stopping you from chicken nuggets. Live your dream. Two, you know the one chicken place on the west side of us?
Mm-hmm.
The one with the big giant rooster on top?
Yes.
Okay, my favorite thing is the egg machine in there when I was a kid, because you put it in the corner and then it does the chicken dance, and it's just like a little egg just dancing around. I loved that shit so much.
Thank you for the clip of the duck song. It's a fun little song. I love the plucky ducky machine. And then I had to actually go outside the boat last time for my ducks because they filled the plucky ducky machine with turtles. And I was like, what is this bullshit? So when we got to port, I just went out and bought a duck from a different vendor. So it wasn't even a rubber duck. It was like a stone duck. But I was like, you know what? A duck a day. Oh, nice, dear.
Why would they put turtles?
I don't know. They've got rubber duckies and rubber turtles, and they have their own turtle machine. Like, the plucky ducky machine is here, and there's the turtle machine, which nobody gets the turtles. Like, everybody comes from the rubber duckies and leaves the turtles. So they just decided, we'll just fill the plucky ducky machine with turtles. And it sucks. Because then you're just like, there's like 3 rubber duckies left, and they're on the bottom, like, just surrounded by turtles. So you have to dig through the corpses of rubber turtles to get to them. And I was like, I'm just going to go out and look for a little ducky figurine and come back with that. But I decided that when we go, if I get a duck that I already have, I'm going to, because there's a tradition on the boat, because these plucky ducky machines, that people will hide rubber ducks all over the ship. And some of them have little tags to say where the ducky has made it on the boat. So if you like pick up the duck from like one of the lounges and you take it and you scan it, you can be like, oh, I found it in the lounge and I'm placing it here. So there's like a where the duck has been throughout the ship. Or you can just take it home, which I took mine home because I didn't have that one. But I can just deposit a ducky somewhere because it's tradition to do that. So if you ever see a ducky just lying about on the boat, it's not a decoy. It is a free duck.
Cruise culture is so weird.
We went for St. Patrick's and we had to go find green duckies all over the boat. It was a hoot.
That's great.
Except they actually did have decoy ducks because you had to find specifically the St. Patrick's Day duck. So sometimes you'd go out and you're like, oh, there's a green duck, but it wasn't the right duck.
It didn't have like the hat and the clover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
I know the St. Patrick's duck.
Little ducky decoys. My mom also told me that the ships on a stick that you can win in contests are actually going for money. And I'm like, fuck. Gonna have to go do more trivia.
Ships on a stick?
Yes. If you participate in a cruise activity that is a contest, you can win one of Carnival's patented ships on a stick, which is a little dinky plastic trophy that says like winner on it. And then there's a little plastic ship on top. Apparently, people are wanting these. We actually have 2 ships on a stick because we actually played trivia and shit last time we went. So
Yeah, I'm decent at trivia.
Well, I won comic book trivia, and then there was a scavenger hunt. And we read the rules, and we won because it never said anywhere that we could not be the ones in the picture performing the act. So
you just embarrassed yourselves.
Oh yeah, because they're like, get somebody to propose to someone else. So I was like, done. And we just like stopped somebody, like, can you take a picture real quick? And then I took off Alex's ring and just held it up and they took a picture. And I'm like, bam, got that one. Can you get a picture of us doing this? Bam, got that one. And just like rapid fire, just got a bunch of them done. And we brought it down and he's like, these are all you in the picture. We're like, yeah, nowhere in the rules does it say it can't be us. And he's just like, God damn it. Here's your ship on a stick.
That's great. I love that. Hey, Coco. Gonna bother you.
Yeah, we got all of them but 3. So that was fun.
She's purring so loudly.
Aw. Hey, Fuzz, your favorite cat's on screen. He's like, I'm sleeping. Fuck off. It's not the same without being able to sit.
Smell.
And Coco just stood up.
She heard it. You're making her uncomfortable.
Like, no, 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 no.
She was ready to run. Look at the hair standing up.
I'm sorry, Coco.
It's okay, baby. It's okay. It's okay. He's not real. The Bahamut can't hurt you.
Oh, God. Thank you for hydrating Stanley Gucci.
Here, I gave Sir Robbie some nip a bit ago. I'll give you a little pinch.
Or as we were calling it yesterday, what was it? The Great Value Squirtle? Something like that.
Yes. Poor Coco. I know. Yeah, Bahamut loves Coco.
Yeah.
A lot. A whole lot.
And Balrog's terrified of her.
Hello, Seggy.
Which was...
Balrog's terrified of her?
Yeah, remember? I was like, oh, let's have Balrog meet her. Because I was like, Balrog's a bro. And I brought him in and he just like fluffed up and was like, oh no! And Coco's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and take him out of the room.
Oh.
Balrog's a fucking wuss.
Poor Balrog. I love Balrog. He's my favorite.
He's
I
a
know I know we shouldn't pick favorites, but Balrog's my favorite.
he's a good dude. He's a fucking weirdo, but he's a good dude.
Me too. Same. My face hurts. I've turned into you. I'm not having to like go into an office every day for the past year and a half.
It's great when you're
Like,
just like completely deadpan, but you can still do your customer service voice.
I don't have to. I don't talk to anybody. I literally actually okay, so um I was like just doing my spreadsheets and stuff this morning, and then a lady I work with called me at like 9, and I was like, I'm not ready for human interaction. Like, I was like, I had a call scheduled at 11, and I was like, I'm mentally prepared to talk to people at 11. And she called me at 9 because she was like, hey, I had to like, she had to take her actual PC in and exchange it, and so she did like the whole backup restore of all her files.
Hmm.
And she was like, but I can't find where we store our shared file. And I was like, hey, okay, you didn't have to call. Let me paste the path for you to Teams. And then like 30 minutes later, she called me again. And she's like, how do I add a signature to my email? And I was like, I love you so much. You're the only person I would tolerate this conversation with.
Oh god. Human interaction is scary.
Wild. I adore that lady though. She's my work mom.
We all got that one person whenever we like at a job that's like the work mom.
Mm-hmm. She's cool as hell, though. Like, me and her, we would be working because, like, our cubicles were, like, right next to each other. And there was, like, a little slit between how the walls came together. And we would pass notes back and forth. And we would, like, play Nirvana and shit when no one else was around. And then she told me all of the crazy stories about how she dated, like, a mobster when she was 20. And, like,
My god.
she was wild. I love her.
I feel like if you don't have like that work mom figure in your life, that it like creates a vacuum and work just goes downhill.
Then you get really annoying work ants and no one to save you from them.
We at the zoo, we lost our work mom because they decided they wanted somebody with sales experience. So they just let her go. And she was our work mom. And then we got the new manager that I hated. And
I remember.
we started calling her mom because every time she did something, we're like, Mother! Mm. Got her a cup and everything.
I love that.
It's like, we didn't even feel bad because, like, she would talk shit about us in the hallway. I would just, like, walk around the corner to go to the bathroom, and she's like, oh my god, my employee is such a bitch. And I'm just like,
Wow.
which one? She's like, oh, not you. I'm talking about the other ones. And then, like, I come back like the next day and, like, the other employee's there. She's like, I heard her talking shit about you in the hallway. And I'm like, I heard her talking shit about you too.
Loki says the two lawful coworkers. 1, the work mom. 2, the millennial you can slag the racist coworkers off with. It's true. I lost mine. She moved to North Carolina. I'm sad. My work bestie.
Say my where I used to work, I had a work dad.
Aw, I've never had a work dad.
Christopher was the best work dad. Like, he is, like, hands down one of the best bosses I've ever had. I know I, like, talk about all my bad ones, but he was one of the best bosses I've ever had.
I did have a work dad.
I love him so much.
I did have a work dad. Actually, my previous manager was my work dad. To the point that one time when I was talking about my car, he was like, hey, it sounds like you need to change your air cabin filter. And I was like, what's that? And then he explained it to me. And so that weekend I went to get a new filter and I pulled the first one out. And it had been like 3 years. And it was black. And there were leaves inside. And I literally, like, I sent him a picture and everything. And I was like, you were right. I need it changed. That's my work dad.
So Chris, like, I was sitting next to him for a while. Because I had, like, I transferred from one team to another, and they... Thank you, Narwhal! So I transferred, and they put me right next to him because they didn't like my other managers, and they kept trying to come down and talk to me. And once I was having an asthma attack because somebody was spraying perfume, and Chris comes over like, are you sick? And I'm like, no, I have asthma. And he's like, is it the perfume? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, hang on. And he stands up, he's like, listen up, which one of you assholes is spraying perfume? He's like, nobody's owning up. Whichever one of you fuckers is doing it, stop it. And then he sat back down. He's like, that'll do it. I'm like, I love
Thanks,
you, Chris.
Dad.
It's like, that was great because he would do that stuff all the time. Like, if he found out that somebody, an unidentified person, is being an asshole, he would, like, have, like, a small team meeting in the middle of the office because it was, like, open air. So we had all the teams there. And Comcast had a rule against cussing. So when he got up there, he's like, all right, listen here, you individuals. Jesus Christ, Norwal, thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are too nice to me today.
It's your birthday.
I know it is. I'm not used to this. It's like, oh my God, like 5 or 6 years ago, I used to get on Facebook on my birthday and see nobody remembered it. And now it's like everybody is...
For the brain weasels!
No! My God!
Take that #1 spot. How dare you? Both you and Lukey bumped me to #3.
Damn.
I'm broke.
For the brain weasels!
Guys! Thank you.
Did a bits battle? Oh my God. Oh my God. Hype train's close. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're so close to a hype train.
For the brain weasels!
Guys, quit it! I think we had a hype train earlier. Dude!
Success. Hype train.
For the
All
brain
aboard,
weasels!
Oh my God.
Anybody who happens to be in my channel but not Zen's,
What are you
you
guys
don't have to participate in the hype
doing?
train. But you can go and check her out for her birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. It's so nice because like I have so many people in my life now, and I get to enjoy my birthday with these people, and then I also get to talk about Pyramid Head today. It's such a good day.
Speaking of, do we want to go ahead and get started?
Yeah.
So welcome to our Dead Talk, Pyramid Head edition.
Yeah.
Hello, Daddy.
Yes. They booped the boot.
I watched a couple of YouTube.
Whoa! Guys, quit it! Lukey, did you ever get that emote made that I sent you a draft of? Because I think now is an appropriate time to use it.
As
Dude!
far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
What the hell, man? Guys, stop it!
Ah, good. Alex got one. I was hoping he would.
Lukey!
Pedrito! Oh, I haven't seen Pedrito in forever.
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
What are you doing? Oh my God.
As As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
This is a lot of America's ass. But I guess it does fit. This is really America's ass.
It is so appropriate.
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
Send tweet? What? No, but there's time for but another day. We have enough ass with PPS. Oh my god.
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
Guys!
264% level 5 hype train. Hell yes.
The fuck?
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
This is a lot of America's ass. I feel like
as far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
I know the moment that I talk, it's going to talk about America's ass again. Thank you so much, guys.
What just happened? Narwhal, not
as far
your
as
birthday.
I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
Narwhal, thank you for the 9 months. Happy stream baby for us.
Robin, I'm just happy you're here. Oh, God.
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
I'm just gonna upload this and people are just gonna be like, why does it keep talking about America's ass? It's like, it's Pyramid Head.
Pyramid Head is America's ass. Forget anything Marvel said.
He really is. Alright, is it done? I think it might be done. Stanley Gucci's just like pimped out over there for a little bit.
He's like surrounded by dollar signs and everything.
And the sunglasses. I think you broke him too, because he's just saying hashtag username now.
Oh no.
Yep. Yeah, Stanley's broken. So yeah, Pyramid Head. How much research did you get in for Pyramid Head?
I watched 2 YouTube videos, and I read the 2 paragraphs in the lore. I watched a video that was a couple of different scenes from the movie.
Oh, we don't talk about that movie. That's no.
And then I watched some other video of the guy talking about Freud.
Okay.
And how Pyramid Head is a personification of James Sutherland's id.
Okay.
And I was okay with it halfway through, and he was like, "Now let's talk about Freud." And I was like, "I've already invested so much time in this video. Why did you bring up Freud?"
Okay.
I hated it.
So here's what I've got, which if anybody's like really hardcore Silent Hill, I apologize. The only real experience I've got with it is 2, and I watched the movie before I ever experienced Silent Hill, the game.
I have no experience with any of it at all.
And I have been told that the movie should burn in a fire. Like, it would be drawn to Silent Hill and it would die there. So what I know about Pyramid Head is that he is pretty much the personification of the guilt of James Sunderland, or whatever his name is. And because, like, one of the first things you see with Pyramid Head, which is why everybody just, like, wants to bang him, is because he's constantly banging the monsters of Silent Hill. Like, you walk into a hallway and Pyramid Head is literally just, like, banging a mannequin in a hallway. Yeah, in the game, he has relations with some of the monsters in Silent Hill, and that is one of the first times you see him.
Robin loves Silent Hill, and that makes sense now.
So, and oddly enough, Pyramid Head doesn't like. He does if you fail the one encounter with him, because the other time that you see him, he is like, you're in a small enclosed room with him, and he's just kind of like coming after you. He's a slow mover. Why I need to play these games now? Yeah, Silent Hill 2 is where you watch him bang it out. So anyway, he like moves very slowly, and if you don't, if you run into him, and he'll actually kill you there. But if you play the game as it's supposed to be played, Pyramid Head doesn't really actually kill you or really anybody else. He gives off the appearance that he does at some times, but for the most part, Pyramid Head is literally pushing you towards resolving your guilt. And that's like, he's there to resolve the guilt. And Pyramid Head, like, the reason why you see Pyramid Head banging everything in its mother is because James's wife was very sick, and she was not interested in having sexual relations with James while she was sick. Or I think they're also having like arguments and stuff. Either way, sex was not on the table, and James was getting very sexually frustrated, which shows up in Pyramid Head banging the fuck out of everything. But yeah, for the most part, he actually pushes James towards what he needs to resolve his guilt. So like when you're stuck in that room with him, when he finally just leaves on his own. You don't kill Pyramid Head. He just leaves on his own. But he goes down to the flooded stairs and then releases the water so you can move forward. There's another part where he literally just shoves James off of a roof into the next area that he needs to go to progress. So he's not killing James so long as you're actually like playing the way you're supposed to. He's just pushing him forward to what he needs to resolve. And the big thing about the Silent Hill as a whole, because like Pyramid Head by himself is terrifying, because he's constantly like, he nags at you, he follows you, he scares you. You're constantly worried about him, kind of like when you're actually guilty. But Silent Hill itself actually consists of two different sections, which is the regular foggy Silent Hill, and then there's the other realm of Silent Hill where your guilt actually becomes real. And like that's when you see like weird shit on the walls, and there's gore and everything. And in one case, James actually he can enter into other people's other worlds where the personification of their guilt is there, and it can hurt him. So in the other world of Silent Hill, things get very dangerous because, your guilt can literally become real and take form and hurt other people. And pretty much the only way you're going to get out is if you can resolve whatever it is that you're having an issue with. And if you don't, then you die there. There's actually other Pyramid Heads in Silent Hill 2. They have spears, and that's the only time you see a Pyramid Head die, because at the end, he's kind of accepted what he's done, and the Pyramid Heads impale themselves on their own spears. So James has no ability to kill a Pyramid Head. The Pyramid Heads are the only things that will go away, and the only way that they're going to go away is if you come to grips with what you've done or whatever guilt you have, or you die.
Interesting.
So that's what you've got. Pyramid Head pretty much is pushing you towards getting your shit done and dealing with it. He also, fun fact, has a tongue. And that asset is unused in DBD, but it exists. It's a very long thing that sticks out from underneath, and it's very, like, snaky and wobbly.
That's disgusting. But I'm sure there are people that have that kink.
Oh, yeah.
So is this going to be, like, a double birthday present for you, or not only do we talk about Pyramid Head, but also no survivors die?
I mean, I think survivors are gonna die, because, I mean, some people aren't gonna resolve their shit.
Okay.
Because, like, there's somebody that never resolved her shit, and she just walked into a fire. Like, she's just like, it's not going away, this is my life, and walked into a fire in Silent Hill, and that's the last we ever see of her. There was one that, like, he ended up, he didn't want to accept what he did. Like, he was constantly making excuses, and then he ended up fighting with James, and James just straight up killed him because he couldn't get out of the room. and he was just trapped there with all the like a bunch of meat because that's kind of how it was manifesting for that guy. So people can die. Like there's this little girl was an absolute bitch and two, and she did what she came to do and she left. Like she was fine. She literally came to drop off a letter and she did her shit, she left. Like if you don't have anything weighing on you, you can just drop in and hang out, visit, go mind your own business later.
Robin says that this Dead Talk should have a joke ending like the Silent Hill games do.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
One of the endings of Silent Hill 2, you find out that everything was controlled by a dog in a giant control room with monitors.
That's beautiful.
And that's the end. So
that's hilarious. Okay. So how do we want to do this? Is this going to be like do we go through the survivors like one by one? What's their guilt? Would they make it out or not?
yes. And when we get them all in there, again, everybody can, like, people can interact with the manifestations of each other's guilt. And you're not supposed to get in the way of anything that's going on. So, like, because
if you do, you die.
Yeah, Pyramid Head gets real pissed off if you interfere with somebody getting over their shit.
Got it. So I already know Steve's gonna die.
Yeah, probably. And then also they're all drawn to Silent Hill. Like you can go there of your own free will, but people that have that guilt are generally drawn there for some reason.
Okay.
So
should we just like list out all the survivors?
Yeah.
And just maybe change up the form on this one a bit. Okay, so Dwight, Meg, Claudette, Jake. I need to actually like pull the list of survivors up. Nia has no regrets.
Yeah, Nia's gonna walk out of this scot-free. This is like kind of like the Look-See, except less extreme.
I don't know about the Look-See.
The Look-See will come to your house if you've got an unresolved issue or a regret. Like there is one instance, I think like somebody's child died and they held on to their toys, so the Look-See came and killed them because they couldn't let go. But then somebody that murdered somebody and didn't regret it at all just walked away. So yeah, anybody that like has zero regrets, zero guilt would probably be able to just take off.
Yunjin has guilt. We can wait. We can get to that. I was just typing her name and.
We don't know if she actually does feel guilty or not.
I haven't really read up on Jonah, to be honest.
I glanced through and he definitely has guilt.
Okay.
100%. That is his backstory. Is he feels guilty as fuck.
Okay, good. I will get Pyramid Head up here. Okay. Insert column to the left. All right. So we got a couple columns
legend.
here.
Wait for Ted to leave because he's now the Blitz. Dairy! Legendary!
I don't know if I want to call this Order of Death. Right now. We'll plug and play, I guess.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay, but we can list out like what their guilt is and then whether or not they die.
Dwight's definitely what he did to that one guy.
His boss.
Yeah.
He like poisoned him, wasn't it?
Yeah, he made him like hallucinate and shit. Because he drugged him. So, yeah.
Let's see. Is this the first one with Jonah? This is the first one with Jonah.
It is.
He has an iPad. That's all you need to know, I think. It's
maybe,
cheese,
maybe,
apparently.
maybe that's actually his calculator because he's a mathematician.
Oh, it could be. Mm.
Megan.
Meg feels guilty about leaving her mom.
Okay.
100%. I don't know what Claudette would feel guilty about.
She might feel guilty because, like, her parents were trying to get her to do other stuff. Like, her mom was very pressuring. So she might have, like, unresolved issues of letting down her mom. Even though it's, like, not justified, but it's still, you know.
I feel like what you're saying.
Jake left his family. Nia. I really.
I don't think she regrets it or has guilt about it, but like she like tagged the mayor's car or something, right? Jonah's an iPad kid confirmed, says Robin.
I don't think Nia would get called because I don't think she has any guilt or regrets in her life. Nia lives her life by her rules and she's been playing them to a T.
She is the entity. Lori.
She's probably being like hounded by guilt about her friends and not believing them or just the trauma of being pursued by a killer. Nia's actually part of the Silent Hill cult.
Ace. I don't know. He might be another one that's like no guilt. Because everything he's done with like gambling has been fair, right?
As far as I know.
Like he gambles a lot. It's definitely his flaw, but he's like fair about it. He has nothing to be guilty about.
Is it an addiction? Because I could see addiction
Ace's
pulling
regret
him.
is he thinks he's too sexy. Ace is hot. Let's be real. Um,
Oh, God.
as a fellow Ace, I have to say. But I'll leave now. Bye. I'm sorry. What did you say again?
Do you think he's addicted to gambling?
Yes,
Because that could be a pull.
but it's not guilt.
So,
It's only guilt if you want it to be resolved.
one of the people, the one that walked into the fire, she had trauma that occurred to her that I don't want to say here. And she was never able to let that go. And she
Okay.
ended up there.
But that's trauma, and people often feel guilt for trauma that's inflicted upon them
Okay.
because there's that whole victim blaming
We'll let
mentality.
we'll let Ace go then.
Bill,
Dude served a nom. He's got to have something.
not the baby killers. Okay, just nom. Fung.
She definitely has something going on because she was going to bars and stuff at a young age because she was not dealing with stress very well.
Is that a
So,
stress thing? I thought that's like a normal thing.
well, I think it was like based on performance stuff. Fung forgot to charge her iPhone before bed, so she couldn't game. Yeah, let me pull up Fung. Let's see.
I'm like rusty on backstories now.
I know. She left her home and spent her time in internet cafes, so she left her parents. and became the black sheep of a one-child family.
She spiraled out of control and fell into a pattern of self-destruction. She started
At
wandering the streets and oh, there you go.
at night, she would stay up tormented by the thought of disappointing her parents and her fans.
Okay, okay. Guilt gamer.
Yes.
Robin. Um, all right. See, when you said like, oh, she went to a bunch of bars at a young age, I'm like, that's just normal. You've left out the spiraled out of control part.
Let's see.
David. Guilt, British. Just
um he was an occasional debt collector. I wonder if that ever bothered him.
I fought in clandestine bare knuckle fights. Free from the constraints of a career and enabled by the wealth of his family. Hmm.
His meteoric rise came to an abrupt end when he lost his temper and assaulted a referee.
But okay, so uh continued going after that, earning himself a lifetime ban from the league and cutting short what most people assumed was going to be a long, successful career. King was unconcerned. He didn't regret that. I made the British joke. I didn't even see Robin put it into chat. We're on the same wavelength.
So one of the other people that were in there, he actually killed some people and he didn't necessarily feel bad about it. Like he was trying to make excuses as to why it was okay. But we also don't have that much background on David, I don't think, to like
No.
get
And
his
I don't think it doesn't say he's killed anybody. Like he was a debt collector. He probably beat the shit out of them.
yeah.
They're quite amusing. One of my favorite memories I return to time and time again whenever I need a lift is Gasoline Man. Grabs this man who skipped a few payments on the loan. He drags him by the hair and throws him in an alley. He grabs a metal gasoline container and douses the sod with oh god, I scrolled. Its contents and lights a match. He stares at him through flickering. Now he killed this man. He burned him alive.
Oh my god.
The man's eyes pop out of his head as the flame hits his chest and falls to the floor with a sizzle. King tells him to make his payment or next time he'll use real gasoline. No, he didn't kill him.
Oh god.
He just burned him enough. He's horrifying.
Uh Apparently he also has father issues because his dad was beating the crap out of his mom and he didn't do anything and he finally stood up to him. And then he
Wait,
gets
he
kicked
did.
out.
I say he finally did stand up to him.
Yeah.
So that's resolved.
And then he got kicked out of his house.
Yeah.
Like his mom was helping his dad up and they booted him.
I'm
He never had friends. Not a single bloody friend to help him out. He had friends once upon a time in school, but that was long ago. He needs money, but money doesn't grow on trees, and no one wants to challenge him, not after what he did to his last opponent. I think David's gonna go.
Do you?
I do.
I almost feel like he literally just doesn't regret any of this.
And then also he was saying that when he's against an opponent, he frequently sees his father.
So unresolved daddy issues then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, lucky for him. This is the daddy episode.
Yeah.
Quentin. Um,
I say easily trauma.
I, due to the nature of the trauma, I almost want to just not even bring Quentin into it.
Just let Quentin have a pass.
Yeah.
All right, Quentin, you were a good boy.
In our minds, we know he would have been here, but I don't want to talk about Quentin's trauma.
I mean, he also might have been to a really good therapist and gotten over it. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there we go. That's great.
Quentin got a really good therapist. I think by the end of that movie,
Robin,
he was
Robin fixed him.
got a great therapist. He ended up getting like a girlfriend and was working through all the family issues. Like, let's just let Quentin go. We'll just let him go. Tap has all kinds of issues. Tap's in there. Like,
amount of regrets, all of the death around him, not being able to like give up anything.
yeah, literally gets kicked off the force, is just in a tiny room with all of the Saw shit around him.
Just his whole life.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh my.
Hi, Raiden.
Hey, dude. Calm down. You really had to bark and fart at the same time, didn't you? Okay. Has Kate really done anything that she regrets? Like, I feel like she's led a pretty nice little life here.
I think she has too. Let's see. Yeah, because like her mom supported her music career, which then took off.
Mm-hmm. She liked making people happy with singing. She won competitions. The only thing
Hers wasn't a story of rock excess, though. Just the road, her guitar, and maybe a good bourbon to end the day.
The only thing she seems to have issues is that for her to win, others had to lose, and that wasn't in her nature. So I think she just stopped competing and just went in and did what she wanted to do. I think she's fine.
Yeah.
Way to go, Kate.
No guilt. All right. Let me go back to see who's next. Adam.
My little baby Adam.
Oh, please don't have any guilts.
Let's see. His father died in a car accident when he was 2. He got the hell beaten out of him for bullies. Let's see.
Got extra classes to afford applying fees overseas so he could go to Japan.
He learned the language of the place that he was going to. He literally dove in front of a girl to save her.
He's just perfect.
Yeah.
Adam's the perfect man. Just
Good job, Adam.
no guilts.
Silent Hill has no place for you.
Now, Jeff.
Robin, I'm sure you could ruin Adam. Okay, Jeff.
Not ruin Adam.
I think Jeffrey's gonna be on there.
Jeff's absolutely here. If not for everything that's gone on in his past, for leaving his dog behind.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
It's a like a Futurama thing. Jane, absolutely some mommy issues.
Yeah. Ash is definitely in there. There are full episodes of Ash trying to come to grips with shit. And him just like, no, I don't have a problem.
What would he be in for?
Lusting over Jacksonville.
The city?
He's constantly like, that's where he wants to go. He wants to go to Jacksonville. That's the perfect place. No, Florida.
Oh, wait, that's Jackson, Mississippi, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Florida? Isn't that Panhandle territory?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, I feel like that should be
hate
enough
him
right
more.
there. But otherwise, he feels guilty about like all of his friends and his girlfriend dying in that cabin in Evil Dead. So,
Okay, we'll take off the likes. Panhandle, Florida. Everyone died. Okay, Nancy, Barb.
yeah,
Just
Barb.
100%. Steve. Steve. His dog is behind it all. He doesn't survive. Aww.
Ash is gonna die, and I fully accept that.
Lukey just said, okay, you know the joke ending dog?
Yeah,
That's Jeff's dog, Lukey said.
that would be great. Just resolve that.
So Steve, I think he actually regrets, like, not being good enough for Nancy.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Because that was like a whole entire season thing.
Yeah.
Did he resolve it though?
I
think he did.
I think he. I feel like
I think he moved on.
I was gonna say that might be like a little bit of like lingering jealousy, but I think at the end of the day, if Steve goes to Silent Hill for this, he's gonna be able to resolve it.
He would, but I think he's gonna get in the way of Nancy and interfere there.
Well, he's allowed to help. He can help somebody through it. He just can't prevent them.
Oh, okay.
Because James actually does come and try and help people. Like, there's somebody that's got a knife and, you know, very clearly...
I had time to work on things while you were away, Jeffrey.
Like, she very clearly looks like she's going to hurt herself, and James takes the knife from her and is offering help. Like, he offers to help most of them and is, like, trying to help them through. And even in one person's other world in Silent Hill, he actually fights one of their own personal monsters for them while they're in the room. So
Nice of him.
You can help people through their trauma from what I can see in Silent Hill 2. You just can't prevent somebody from getting through what they need to get through.
Okay. So I guess my question is, would Steve be in here because he's not over
I think
not being good enough for Nancy, or does he have no guilt and we get another one that we don't have to worry about?
Honestly, I think he'll go, but I also think he's going to be okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. God, I can type. Okay, Yui. Yui's got some past.
She does.
Does she regret it? Didn't she kill a man?
She didn't kill him. She just beat the hell out of him.
Okay. We took him away and rushed Yui to the hospital for trauma x-ray.
I was going to say, she did experience the trauma of somebody breaking into her apartment and stealing her shit, trying to beat the hell out of her, and then, wasn't it her grandfather was threatening to throw her out for not doing, for doing motorcycle shit because he was like, that's not a girly thing to do.
Yeah.
I think Yui's going to be another one where she'll get over it, but she's going.
What do I list as the guilt?
Grandpa and trauma.
I thought it was her dad.
It might have been. I think it was her grandma that... Wasn't it her grandma that helped her out?
Her grandma helped her out, but I think her dad was the one that, like...
Somebody was a douche to her.
Daddy issues.
Mm-hmm.
Me too, bestie. Zarina.
She's definitely got some shit. I mean, the first paragraph, she felt that her cultural difference painted a target on her back, and to avoid ridicule and bullies, she observed what popular kids liked and learned to project the image they preferred.
But
So,
so that in particular, she ended up overcoming, and that's how she got into the whole documentary stuff.
okay.
Um, Public video surveillance camera filmed her father carrying two coffees at a street corner a few blocks from home. A tall hooded man stood behind him. The man shouted something at her father, who took a step back, startled. Suddenly and unexpectedly, the man pushed him in the street as a car sped by. The perpetrator, Clark Stevenson, she became obsessed with Clark.
Okay. Well,
Um,
there's something that could you know, that could do it.
Hold on. But she does, I don't, let's see. Most of them shared eccentric anecdotes in hopes of being filmed. But one story stood out from the rest. The entire wing of Hellshire Penitentiary was sealed off because of the Mad McMassacre. From working on her Sacco and Vanzetti film, Zarina knew that the official story wasn't always the true story. She investigated Hellshire's records and found an Irish-born inmate sentenced to 15 years for assault in 1860. According to the penitentiary's blueprint, the sealed-off wing was part of Hellshire's original infrastructure. Next morning, she was joining the Hellshire Penitentiary walking tour. She blended into the crowd of jet-lagged tourists and veered off when they headed towards the kitchen. She had memorized the blueprint and knew exactly where to go and how to avoid surveillance cameras. An unexpected security detail nearly cut her investigation short, but she was able to hide under an old, dusty prison bed. When the guards disappeared, she continued her search and finally found Mick's cell. And then she had to trick the fog. I don't.
The last part where she looked down and she saw her father, I think there's some sort of obsession with her dad there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Her father's eyes. Yeah, okay.
Sh-
Cheryl.
Cheryl's an easy because I think literally her lore says that Pyramid Head's been like, or in Pyramid Head's items or something, that he's been tormenting her with dreams of gore. So I'm not sure what the fuck.
Dreams of Gore. Got it.
Like, he's already targeting her. Felix and Elodie, the parents thing.
Oh, I was gonna put Felix down for imposter syndrome.
I mean, that works too. I mean,
And then Elodie for the parents. Yunjin, does she feel guilty? Because she knew about what Trickster was doing, right?
yes. But again, there's the one guy that did kill some people, and he was pretty much like, the reason why he couldn't leave was because he kept trying to justify what he did instead of coming to terms with what he, actually did. So
She would be that type.
yes.
Okay. Okay. So and then Jill.
So I think Jill and Leon, like some people got left behind in Raccoon City.
No. I want to see the movie
Don't
so bad.
do it. Don't
I
do it.
want to. Listen, Evan Joga is in it. He's Leon. I love that. I love that for me.
It's so bad though.
I love him. Oh, gosh. Okay, my sister never even heard of Resident Evil. She doesn't know it exists. So when we were in Florida, we were talking about movies to go see. We saw House of Gucci and Ghostbusters, which Ghostbusters was amazing. House of Gucci, Oscar clickbait, but still good.
Okay.
But I was like, hey, let's go see Resident Evil Return to Raccoon City. And she just started laughing out loud. And she was like, Raccoon City! Because, like me, when I first heard it, she also thought of a city of raccoons. What's Zen? Zen is who I am streaming with tonight. Welcome, Hidden. It is Zen's birthday, so feel free to
Hi.
pop in there and say happy birthday. Um, but yeah, so she didn't know, and I was like, well, so Raccoon City's just the city. And I was like, it's kind of like a zombie movie.
Yeah.
But that you left people behind.
Yes. And then Leon actually is like trying to figure out who's behind Umbrella. So he's got a bit of an obsession with that too. So
Camera's frozen.
Scott.
That's it. That's on my end. Um,
I'm like trying to remember.
well, okay, so yeah, what was Leon's?
He's kind of obsessed with the Umbrella Corporation, just from his like brief bit of info on the wiki. I don't remember a lot from the Resident Evil game that I played.
I don't know anything about this. I don't know.
If anything else, he probably regrets having to escort the president's daughter because that was so tedious. He never should have gotten in that boat. That boat with the giant fish.
I need to actually play some of the Resident Evil games eventually one day when I'm not a chicken. But I'm afraid of everything. So
I feel like Resident Evil really missed an opportunity with the shopkeeper. Like every time he'd come to the shopkeeper, like it was a safe area, so you'd hear this music. It's like, how hard would people have shit their pants if the boss was actually the vendor and you walked into this safe area and he just like pulled out all of his guns that he'd been selling and buying and just open fired? So yeah, Leon's not letting go of what happened. Long story short.
I'm very lost on what to put here. Not letting go of what.
Like all the shit that went down at Raccoon City.
Ah, okay.
Whatever the fuck Umbrella Corps did.
Michaela. Honestly, leaving her roommate with rent.
Yeah. But I mean, coming from a millennial's point of view, it might have been worth it to get sucked up by the entity with the rising rent prices.
She had anxiety. She's so millennial. I would also go into the entity's realm if it meant I didn't have to pay rent anymore. Let's see.
She wanted to remove the recording of whatever it was that when she was levitating.
What?
In her backstory, they were doing some shit. Let's see.
She narrated a tale of billowing winds on a cold autumn night, of a loyal friend disappearing before daylight, of forgotten victims hiding in the wings of darkness, of throbbing graves sealed with terrible secrets, and of eternal night in the shadow of death.
So when she woke screaming one night, she had had enough. She asked Julian to watch her while she slept and record anything usual. Julian agreed and started recording while Michaela lay on her bed. So then she starts screaming and levitating and shit. And that's when they first see the spidery fang slam through the bathroom door, which woke up Michaela. And the power went out. They barricaded the door. Everything comes back on. Spider's gone. And then she says, a sleepless night followed. When she returned to the apartment after her shift, Julian was not there. Michaela wanted to remove the recording of their ordeal, which Julian had posted online. Suspecting Julian might be at school, she left. The door clicked shut behind her, masking a stifled cry from the bathroom. So she felt like she was watched. So she wanted to get rid of that recording. So she was trying to find Julian. Did you ever find him? My dogs are stampeding everywhere.
I don't think she did.
There
Because
we
then
go.
she went to like the story time thing. If she told it right, perhaps Julian would hear it.
Okay.
And then she started to tell the story and then vanished.
So, the guilt of summoning the entity and her friend vanishing.
Hey. And then Jonah, our new boy, whose lore I've not read. So
Okay.
please.
So I very briefly went through this. So here's what he got. So this is just the important part. He's put to work deciphering messages from signal stations around Europe. Archive footage found that for 23 years, dozens had been operating in an unknown capacity. Simple blinks of light hid complex codes that revealed disjointed information. It wasn't much to go on, but he discovered the messages seemed to involve powerful and wealthy individuals from around the globe. Project was abruptly shut down. All agents involved were transferred to other assignments. Jonah was moved to a covert task force in the newly formed Democracy of Quintana, where he intercepted and decoded messages from bands of rebels. His work enabled the U.S. government to target numerous rebel locations. Then the bombs dropped. It was discovered too late that the messages were decoys. Civilian casualties were staggering, the true numbers covered up by officials. Jonah blamed himself. He saw firsthand the damage done and the families torn apart. So, war shit.
Yeah. Okay, that's good enough.
We got this. Okay, so we can go ahead and pull out Nia, Ace, Kate, Adam. Yeah.
All right, everyone else gets drawn to Silent Hill,
Yes.
Midwich Elementary, to face the personifications of their guilt and regrets.
Yes.
We could just like go in order. Hold on, I need to change the color of this.
So, yeah, we probably could just go in order and knock this out. So I could see Dwight not getting over it, because I imagine that, one, he's going to be fucking terrified going through Silent Hill, the regular Silent Hill, with all the fog. But when it turns over to the other Silent Hill, you know, after he's been chased and pushed by Pyramid Head and hasn't quite died of a heart attack yet, when he goes to the other world, I imagine he would see the hallucinations that he put his boss through, and that would be it. He'd go down.
First dead Dwight.
Yeah.
What an opener. All right. So it's.
So that's gonna be one body in the dungeon, wrapped up in barbed wire.
Meg. I think Meg could actually make it.
I hate to admit it, but yeah, she actually does have, according to her lore, she does have a lot of determination.
Yeah.
So I think that, like,
And I actually think that this whole thing would almost be therapeutic for her.
I was gonna say, I could easily see it in a horror movie type thing that she's going through the fog and she's running trying to get out, and then when it switches to the other world, it's time for her to stop running and actually face up to it. So I feel like her mom would probably be whatever monster it is in there, and she would come to grips with it, and she would be allowed to leave.
Claudette. Kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't think she has the same determination that Meg does.
I don't think she does either.
I think she would, if she didn't have somebody to help her.
So would anybody help her? Because I don't think anybody's gonna, like, honest to God, I think Dwight's gonna freak out and hide, so nobody's gonna save him.
No.
But Claudette, is there anybody that would back her up and pull her?
Bill or Lori? No, not Lori.
Lori's not gonna do shit. Claudette's just gonna hear screaming down the hall. I could see Yui possibly. Or Steve.
Steve is our good boy.
Because I could see both of them, like, seeing her, like, freaking out in the other world, that one of them would actually come and help her out. And she might continue for a while with them. And I guess depending on how this goes, we'll have to determine if she actually makes it.
So gets help from, we want to say Yui?
Yeah, let's do Yui.
Okay, we'll start there. We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back around to see who is going through round 2 of Silent Hill.
Let me just highlight that real quick. Jake. I don't. I know his family wants him to come home.
Yeah.
I don't think he would. I think he does feel a little bit of guilt for leaving them, but also too stubborn to go back or, like, acknowledge that guilt, really.
If he's not going to acknowledge it, he doesn't get to go. He has to acknowledge it.
Wait, what do you mean he doesn't get to go?
He can't leave if he doesn't acknowledge what's bugging him.
But he's already there at Silent Hill, right?
Yeah, just because you're there doesn't mean that you've acknowledged it.
Yeah, so he dies here.
Unless he gets help.
He dies here.
Okay, Jake died.
Cause of death, stubborn.
Just imagine, like, he's just, like, hiding out, like, in the trees in the fog.
In the playground.
And then it goes to the other world and his family starts just coming after him out of the fog, and that's just what does him in. Because you can't run from them for too long.
Oh, man. All right, we don't have to worry about Nia.
You gotta...
Lori's
toast. There's no way. This would be Daddy Part 2.
Because she would just keep running.
Yeah.
Because that was, it was like the whole thing. She basically just, like, ran until
somebody else helped her.
Yeah.
And there's, like, in Silent Hill, people can only help you so far. So she might find somebody and they might help her, but
they won't be enough.
Yeah, so if you want to leave her highlighted because she's going to travel with the others for a little bit, we can do that.
Who do we want her to get help from?
I feel like she just runs until she runs into some people. But I don't know what people she's going to run into yet.
Steve and Nancy?
Yeah, we can do Steve and Nancy.
Ace is fine. Bill regrets from just
Literally
being a soldier during the
Yeah.
Vietnam War. I think he could get over it.
I think he could too.
I think he's got what it takes to get through it.
I was gonna say he's probably gonna be the one, like he's probably actually gonna pair up with like Leon and Jill, because they've also seen combat, and possibly even Jonah.
I was actually thinking because like the whole, because that was the thing with the Vietnam War too, was civilian deaths were like a
Yeah,
huge issue. Him and Jonah easily.
I was gonna say he could with Jonah because of the civilian deaths, and then also Jill wanted to go back for the people left behind in Raccoon City, and you know people got left behind in Nam. So, and I mean,
Yeah.
hell, that's one of Bill's fucking perks. He got left behind, so he's really a twofer. And it's like he's literally probably being pursued by the dead people that he's witnessed before, that he may have killed in combat. And he's just like, it sucks. But
Ung's disappointed parents.
I think this might be another run from them and try and find somebody to help. Who else has parents' issues?
Jane,
Okay.
Yui.
I feel like Yui's just like she's just gonna give a pep talk at the end. Like, get over your shit, people! I got a race tomorrow!
We could do Fung and Jane teamed up.
Okay. I think David dies here.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's going to fight it, and he's still not going to, like, accept it.
Yeah.
And he eventually just becomes exhausted and dies. It's like, I'm sorry. You can't fight the truth, boy.
Yeah. Because I think he would deny that like what he did was wrong and not own up to that he does regret some of the shit.
Now, Tap, I think he's gonna fall along the lines of the one guy that never like accepted. Like he tried to justify a lot of stuff, and I think he'll survive the first round, just because he actually did try. Like he put in the effort. He really, honest to God, devoted his life to trying to help somebody. So I think he's going to like make it to meet up with the group, but he's not going to get past round 2. Because he's going to try and justify everything, and he's never going to get over it. He's just not. This is literally Saw Part 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just literally being followed around by the fucking tricycle thing.
Jeff left his dog.
Okay, I want Jeff to make it because of the ending.
Let me
Hey,
put a
Lord
note there.
Sylvie.
Okay. Ash.
I hate to say it, but Ash has survived this scenario before.
He
um,
has. Ash has been through everything.
Because he has. Oh my god. They put him on drugs to try and get him to, like, be okay with shit with the whole, like, if you don't accept this, you're gonna die. And he's just like, I really just want to go to Jacksonville. So I think he would make it to round 2. Because even though he made it through the whole, you have to, like, own up to what you did, he still feels bad. So I think he's going to go on to round 2. He's not just going to get off scot-free.
Okay. Right.
Nancy's gonna have to get help from Steve because she's gonna be haunted by the terrible visage of Barb.
It's gonna be Barb and then like all of the upside down shit
Yeah,
and like the Demogorgon and everything. Like,
yeah. Steve's gonna try and help her out. I think that, like, okay, so Steve's gonna help out Nancy. I think Steve is going to stay in Silent Hill of his own volition to try and help her get out.
but I think if he's able to successfully help Nancy, would help him also get over his thing of not being good enough for her.
Oh yeah,
Because if he can help her, he's good enough.
yeah.
But if he doesn't help her, like they either live together or die together.
Honestly, I could see Ash just, like, walking over and telling him, "Boy, you're good enough. You could get that ass." And that's the push he really needed.
Slap on the back.
Yeah, and that was the push he really needed. He's free from Silent Hill forever.
And then, no, because then if he leaves and Nancy's not done yet.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I think he'll stay of his own volition, but I think he's gonna get over it.
Okay.
But I honestly think that, like, Ash is gonna give him that slap on the back and that pep talk that he really needs. Because it's becoming a headcanon that Ash is Steve's bad dad.
Okay, so let's highlight them for round 2. All right, Yui obviously has to make it to round 2 because she's helping out Claude.
Yeah, she's fine.
Zarina.
I think she'll make it to round 2, but I don't know if she's gonna make it out.
Okay. Cheryl.
I mean, she's fine. She's been living this since before. Like, she's outside of Silent Hill having these dreams. She's fine.
Felix.
Ooh. I don't think Yunjin is the one you wanted to type in there.
Oh, yeah. I wanted that on Jill. Okay. So Felix.
I don't know how Felix would do.
I think
Like, I feel like of all the people whose lore exists, like, I feel like I have had the most disinterest in Felix and Elodie's lore.
so. I think with like the imposter syndrome thing, like if he was like faced with something like some personification of that, I think he would just be like, "Yeah, I am an imposter," and just like accept death. A big stretch from a Bahamut.
He's faced with the imposter syndrome, and he's like, I'm ready for death. Just takes his shirt off, and Pyramid Head's just like, you're free to go.
No, we're gonna kill him.
Okay.
Elodie, it was basically her parents and a bunch of other parents, right?
Yeah.
Your camera's out of focus. I don't know what happened.
Behave.
There we go.
Sweet. Bahamut moved. I blame him.
I'm just gonna go ahead and put it. Yunjin's not getting out of here. Okay.
I would love to see her hit round 2, though. I honestly God
So we have
would.
so many in round 2, but it's your birthday.
Yes.
Fine.
I'm sorry. I enjoy Yunjin heavy episodes.
Okay, Elodie.
I don't know how Elodie would deal with it.
We could take her out.
Okay.
It was just too many parents.
It was a PTA meeting she just couldn't escape.
Leon.
I'm going to say Leon dies.
Okay.
Because he wants to find out who's responsible with Umbrella Corps. And I feel like that is a task that's a little too big for him. And it would exhaust him. Eventually, Pyramid Head would have to put a cleaver in that ass.
He'd take it, I'm sure.
And Michaela, I think, is also going to go down.
Yeah.
Because the entity scared the shit out of her. So if she had to go to the other Silent Hill and she had to, like, if she was faced with, like, facing the entity to save Julian, I think it would scare her too much. And she wouldn't be able to do it.
High anxiety.
Not enough booners. You can't shadow step the entity.
All right, so here we go. In round 2, we have Claudette, Lori, Bill, Fung, Tap, Jane, Ash, Nancy, Steve, Yui, Zarina, Cheryl, Yunjin, Jill, Jonah.
Okay, so let's have all of these guys meet up. Do we want to, like, push them all to the bottom so we have the list?
Oh, God. Yes. Start thinking about what you want to happen, though.
Okay. Because we need to get Pyramid Head in on this action. So, let's see. All right. Fun gets help from Jane. Tap his whole life. Okay. I've got one kind of coming together here. Um, hmm. just love Jeff. I'm just imagining just everybody meets up in one room and they're all like talking about why they think they're in Silent Hill. They're just going down the list. I let my mom down. I didn't believe my friends and they all died. Vietnam. I disappointed my parents my whole life. Tap. I lost my partner and I've been obsessing over this one serial killer my entire life. Jane, I've got mommy issues. Ash, everybody died around him. And he didn't get to tap that ass at this last restaurant that he went to. Nancy's Barb. Steve, I'll just say Barb, because he's not going to admit why he's there in front of Nancy.
You're saying too, Barb.
Yeah. Yui's just like, this guy broke into my house, and I beat the hell out of him. But he still broke into my house. And then my dad's really pissed that I'm doing this motorcycle shit. Zarina's like, I'm obsessed with my father's death. Cheryl's like, I just keep having dreams of gore. And everybody just kind of stares at her. And Yunjin's like, I didn't fucking do anything. Jill's like, I left some people behind in Raccoon City. Jonah's like, it's my fault a lot of civilians died. And they all turn and look at Jeff. And Jeff's like, I left my dog behind.
Oh. Okay. Round 2.
Okay, so what I saw coming together, because we gotta bring Daddy Pyramid Head in, so this is going to require a push to get some shit going, and I think he's got himself a twofer with Nancy and Lori. Because I could easily see Nancy trying to save Lori and Lori not believing her or trusting her. And Lori would die. But in this case, like, Nancy would have to recognize, like, Steve would try and talk her through it, like, there was nothing you could have done. Like, Pyramid Head's behind them. She's like, listen, I think that this place is safe. We should go here. You know, we'll get away from them. And then Lori just, you know, fucking screams, ignores her, keeps running, closes the door behind her, and then leans into the door, and then the fucking line just
comes through it.
Yeah, just kills her. And Nancy's fucking horrified because, you know, another person just died, and Steve's just like, takes her by the shoulders like, there was nothing you could have done. But the question is that enough for Nancy to do that? Like, is that enough for Nancy to get over it, or is that guilt going to continue to linger?
I think that might be enough.
Okay, so Nancy is free.
So she tries to help.
Like, if she did everything in her power to try and save Lori, and Lori just didn't listen. So Nancy's finally free. And they
got a pep talk from Ash, but also successfully helped Nancy.
Yes.
So they're good to go.
Steve 100% could kick Jonathan's ass, free from Silent Hill, and he's just like, I'm gonna walk her home now. And Ash is like, you do that, you do that real good.
Swear to God, I can type. Okay.
I don't think Jonah's gonna make it out. Because no. I think when Pyramid Head comes for him to try and push him forward, he's probably like literally going to be pushing him towards like a literal pile of corpses. I could see him doing that. and making him see all the people that died. And Jonah just can't. He just can't. I don't think he's going to be able to walk out of that. So when he's between Pyramid Head and facing his one regret, Pyramid Head's gonna kill him.
All right.
I honestly think that they might end up, like, the party might actually end up having to put Tap down. Because Silent Hill fucks with people. And if Tap is constantly being followed by the little tricycle dude and is seeing shit and hearing shit, he's eventually just gonna fucking lose it. Or he might just, take himself out. Either or. But I think Tap's gonna lose it. Like, Pyramid Head doesn't even have to do work. Hell, he might see Pyramid Head, look at it like a reverse bear trap, and that's just, he's done. Game over.
So loses it.
Yeah.
And takes himself out.
Yeah, let's do that.
So everyone else is already dealing with their shit right now.
Yeah, I don't think Tap's gonna deal with that shit. And honestly, again, I think he's gonna see Pyramid Head's head and be reminded of the reverse bear trap or any of the other head traps, and that's
right, like the knife thing, and
yeah, it's done. He's gone.
Yeah. All right.
Ash, again, he's been through this shit before, and he's come out fine. I honestly think it reaches the point where he's just there for shiggles. Like, he's just trying to, like, he wants to hit that Yunjin ass. He's just there because he wants to be there. He's just bored.
All right.
Reminds him of Jacksonville. Okay. I don't know how Cheryl would deal with it. But we know she's gotten out before.
Right. Like, obviously. Do we want Hyunjin to this is it? This is her last stop?
I think so. Like, when Pyramid Head finally comes to push her towards her resolution, she's literally probably going to be, like, backing away from, like, no, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Literally to the point where, like, she dies saying she never did anything. She's never going to own that. Okay. So we got a nice group here. So Yui was trying to help Claudette. She's probably also trying to help Fung as well at this point.
Fung and Jane are together.
Maybe they'll all get together. I mean, they've all got family issues. Just like a little powwow. Just like Bill and Jill just like go off by themselves because, they're dealing with similar issues. Zarina, Yui, Claudette, Jane, and Fung are all dealing with family issues. And then there's Cheryl, who dreams of gore.
Hold on, let me get everybody closer here together. Oh my god, that didn't work how I thought it might. Okay, okay, so Fung, Jane, Claudette, and Yui are all dealing with parent issues. I think that's a little bit different from what Zarina's dealing with.
Yeah.
So I think Zarina might be on her own, Cheryl on her own, Jill and Bill together.
I just imagine that Cheryl, like, She just uses her sexy beam and just breaks out.
What?
So there is in one of the Silent Hill games that she's in, I don't remember how you get it, but she has a sexy beam. Hold on. Sexy beam. I think
Sailor Moon thing?
yes. Yeah.
In Midwich by daylight, Pyramid Head by moonlight. Having dreams of gore all night. She is the one named Cheryl Moon.
Okay, so for anybody that's interested in this, let me just post this over here. There you go. I just posted it in your chat. She has the sexy beam. Technically also has Heather beam, but she has the sexy beam. And if we're gonna have the dog ending, you know, we could easily incorporate the sexy beam. Just watching your face.
It is a Sailor Moon thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Joking about.
Yep. It's a thing.
Okay. Her sexy beam is what fuels Ash to the end.
I'm just imagining Cheryl just sees Pyramid Head walking in the distance and it's like, I've seen that ass, but have you seen my sexy beam? Even Pyramid Head's ass isn't a match for the sexy beam.
Yeah, it's 100% happening. Okay.
The more you know.
What is this game? That's canon?
It's in there. I get it. I don't remember how you get it,
Oh my god.
but it exists. It's like, it literally is like a kill-all thing. Like, you can just sexy beam your way through there and you're good to go.
Oh man. That has to be like a programmer, like one of those codes that like the developers use
Yeah.
to be able to like get to different areas of the game easily. That's hilarious. That's amazing. That's 100% how she's getting out. Because
Sexy
listen,
beam.
what's the opposite? What's the opposite of gore? Sexy.
Well, I mean, Pyramid Head is into like punishment, you know, BDSM, sexy stuff, sexy beam. It's her counterattack.
All right. Do we want to kill off anyone else, or do we want them to go further? Or
Okay, well let's work with Bill and Jill since they're together.
okay.
So they're probably both having a very similar instance of the other Silent Hill since they're both dealing with people that were left behind. Or
Bill also has the people that he's killed.
yeah.
Um,
And I could see Bill walking her through this.
I'd say Bill, I think, could do really well with because he's been the one left behind.
Yeah. And
So
he's
I think
like,
he would do really well talking her through it. It's what was needed.
and she did try to come back for some people. She actually, like, she got her team out, from what I read. She got them out, and then she actually did try to go back and save people left behind. So I feel like Bill will be like, you did the best that you could. It's, it's okay. I've been there before. I understand.
And she'll make it.
And she'll make it.
But Bill then,
I think Bill might do. I think, like, in the game he just kind of accepts it, and he's left behind because he was
I was
injured.
thinking,
He was just like, I accept it.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like he'll just accept that like this is where he's meant to be and die.
He gets Jill out. Jill gets out of the other Silent Hill, but Bill doesn't.
I'm gonna make this a slightly more readable orange. That doesn't exist. Yes, it does. Brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Our family gang and or Zarina.
Yes. So, who of these would actually get over their shit? Yui would. Because Yui walked up to Oni and looked him in the face like, I'll kick your fucking ass. That's literally what she would, like, if she got pulled into the other Silent Hill, she would literally, like, if faced with her father, I could kick your fucking ass. Looking at the guy that broke into her apartment, I'll kick your ass again. Like, Yui would destroy this. Yui does not take shit from these people. I feel like Claudette, like, she would get the pep talk from Yubi, and she'd probably say it helped her out, but I don't think she's gonna be able to let it go.
No.
Like, she might try and pretend it, like, using Yui's words and arguing with it, but
She'll go in to face Monster Mom, and then Pyramid Head's just gonna show up, and she's just gonna buckle.
Yeah, I could see her, like, she's facing the monster mom. She's, like, repeating everything Yui said to her, but she's slowly backing away and then bumps into Pyramid Head. And that's the end. Yep.
I'll let her get spanked. It's the least we can do for her.
We'll say it was in her house and they had a nice fireplace.
So Feng Jing and Zarina.
I don't think Zarina's gonna make it because she researched and made a documentary, and, like, she's done a lot to actually, like, get, like, kind of a revenge or a resolution, but
it still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Because she still saw him
And
when she was going into the fog.
Yeah, I don't think that Zarina's gonna get killed by Pyramid Head. I think she's gonna be another one, like, kind of like the one where I was talking about, where the lady walked into the fire because she's like, this is what my life is like all the time, because she couldn't get over it, and she just accepts it and walks into the fire.
Okay. So Feng and Jane.
Feng did not handle it well.
Neither did Jane. Jane got into a car accident. She was so distraught.
Didn't Jane eventually, like, kind of sort of at
No.
least move on?
She she tried to forgive her mom and invited her on her talk show, and then her mom pretended that they weren't even related. And so she then left, and I think she just got like absolutely wasted and then drove off the side of a road. And that's how she ended up here.
Oh. Yeah, Jane's not gonna make it then. Shit.
They help each other to death. Fung dies too.
I think so. I was gonna say I could also see this being like a twofer where like when they go to the other, like Jane sees Fung is like her mom and just like cuts loose on her, and Fung sees Jane like as uh like her mom, like kind of a hallucination type thing.
Ooh.
And then Jane can't get over it, but Jane thinks she has to get over it and like beats her to death and is like sobbing and realizes she can't let it go. And when she finally stops and realizes it's Fung, Pyramid Head's just right behind her and she's gone.
I like that. That's
Meanwhile,
dramatic.
at the very end, Jeff has been wandering Silent Hill for a very long time. He kind of separated with everybody else because they were having some serious problems. And
And
he
he just felt
was,
like he didn't belong.
yeah, he just felt bad about his dog. He's got his cell phone out. He can't get reception. His dog is literally like his home screen. It just flicks between different pictures of his dog. His
I just think of Fry from Futurama.
We don't need to talk about that. That's traumatic enough. And he's just like, that's all he does is he's just flipping through pictures and he misses his dog. He's been watching videos of him, hopes he's okay, has been trying to find Wi-Fi to connect to like the pet cube to check on him. There's backed up text messages of him trying to get any reception to get somebody to go check on him. And he's trying to get to the highest place possible to get reception. And he gets to the top room of the largest building and he opens the door. And there is a large room full of monitors and buttons and a chair that slowly swivels around. And it's his good boy. And behind the dog on all the monitors are all the people that died.
Cheryl, meanwhile.
Pyramid Head is no longer dragging his cleaver. He's just dragging a giant bag of dog food.
Cheryl's just sexy beaming her way. Ash is following that sexy beam ass.
It's like a magnet.
They both just somehow
He
Deus
literally
Ex Machina find their way out.
he literally follows her out of Silent Hill. She's been there before. She knows the way out. Ash is just right behind her. Just trying to impress her, like pulling out every attachment he has for his arm. You know, she's shooting off the sexy beam. He's just got the shotgun. Like, hey, baby, you like that?
Okay. All right. So we have a few survivors who are not drawn to Silent Hill. They really either have just no regrets of what they did or we don't want to talk about it. So Nia, Ace, Kate, Adam, and Quentin have been spared, but all of the rest have been drawn to Silent Hill based off of all of the guilts and regrets that they have had in life. Our first victim is Dwight, who poisoned his boss. And when he gets to Silent Hill and he goes to the other Silent Hill, as Zen refers to it, which honestly, 2 hours later, I don't know what that means, but I'll just say it, other Silent Hill. He sees hallucinations of his boss. And it is...
It's like the upside down of Silent Hill.
Okay. I figured it was something like that. But he sees hallucinations of his boss, which just drive him completely mad. And he is not going to be able to get over what he did. And he's just going to rot here. Meg, feeling guilty about vanishing on her mother. She's running through Silent Hill, and she just keeps running until she ends up into other Silent Hill, where she has to stop running and face her monster mom. And she manages to do it, and she's able to leave Silent Hill. Jake left his family to go live in the woods.
Yeah.
When he gets to Silent Hill, he is faced with hallucinations of his family who attack him about getting over his pride and wanting to not be part of the family. But he's too stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
And he won't accept that. So he dies. David, we learned, has done some shit.
Yeah.
Has done some wow. David's done some shit.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he doesn't feel guilty about most of it. He just has daddy issues. Because his father was abusive to his mother. And while he did stand up to him, at one point, he does still have some issues with his dad. When he gets to Silent Hill, all of the monsters that he faces, he fights them. And I guess his thing was he needs to learn to not fight.
He needs to deal with it.
Yeah, and go to therapy.
Yes.
But he keeps fighting until he's just purely exhausted. He can't fight anymore, and he gets taken out. Felix has mass amounts of imposter syndrome as an architect. And that is something he's unable to get over. So he's going to just be consumed within Silent Hill and never leave, be trapped there forever. Because he just accepts, I am an imposter, and lives with that. Elodie is responsible for her parents' death, Felix's parents' death, a bunch of other people's parents' death. A lot of parents died because of Elodie. So when she goes to Silent Hill, she is faced with hallucinations or ghosts of all those parents, a PTA meeting of nightmares. It's too many parents. She can't face them all. And nobody was there to help her because Felix is doing his own shit. And so Elodie is gone. Leon is obsessed with Umbrella Corps and what happened in Raccoon City. And he cannot let go of that obsession. And so, since he is unable to let go of it, he is also going to be just trapped in Silent Hill to rot. Michaela summoned the entity to her world, and her roommate vanished, and she couldn't find them anywhere. And so when she goes to Silent Hill and she goes to the other Silent Hill, she needs to face the entity and fight the entity to save her roommate. But she has anxiety because she's a millennial. She can't do it. And so she is murdered by the entity and does not save her roommate. But we have some people who make it a little bit further. Let me get water. Lori, haunted by Myers and not believing in her friends or the kids that she was babysitting, who were telling her the boogeyman was there. She ends up getting help from Steve and Nancy. Nancy is there because of what happened to Barb. And Steve is there because of his guilt of not being good enough for Nancy, but he says he's there for Barb also.
Yeah.
So they're going to be helping each other. Steve does get a pep talk from Ash. I guess Steve at some point opened up to Ash of being like, I'm not actually here for Barb. That's my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend. I'm just not good enough for her. And Ash is like, no, you're good enough. And slaps him on the back. And Steve's like, wow, thank you, man.
Just gives them the birds and the bees, but the Ash version.
The shotguns and the chainsaws.
Yes. The shotguns and chainsaws.
So Lori, Lori, not believing her friends, Nancy and Steve try to help her out. Nancy, particularly, tries to do everything she can for Lori of trying to come to an acceptance of you don't have to run. You can face the danger head on, but Lori decides to run anyway. And as she's getting chased all over Silent Hill, she does her classic move of running into a room, shutting doors behind her. She stops to wait to listen, and in comes the cleaver, and she's dead. Nancy is distraught that she couldn't help Lori, but her and Steve have a heart-to-heart. And Steve talks her through it. And he says, you did everything that you could have done.
Barb would have been proud of you.
Yeah, just Barb would have been glad that you were there and that you actually tried to help a friend when they needed you. And so Nancy finally gets over her Barb issues. And Steve proves that he's good enough for Nancy. And they both get out. Jonah, on the other hand, has teamed up with Bill and Jill. He feels a lot of guilt for his part in cracking a code that caused some bombs to be dispersed on civilians. And so when he is getting pushed through Silent Hill with Pyramid Head hot on his trail, he's going towards just a pile of victims of what he considers his fault. And it's something that he cannot face. And Pyramid Head just gets closer and closer until finally close enough to just knock him out. Hello, Caspero. Then Jill and Bill go off. We'll get back to them in a second.
Yeah, I come back to them.
Tap.
Feel so bad for Tap. This is like the worst thing that could have happened to him other than what already happened to him.
I know.
Tap. It is my birthday today, Castro.
Yes. Tap regrets all of his partners who have died. His obsession with the Jigsaw case.
Yeah.
The fact that he could not move beyond it. So being put into the realm of Silent Hill is even worse. He has the little Jigsaw puppet following him around. Everywhere he looks, he's seeing different traps. He's seeing victims that he couldn't save. Mm-hmm. It's an absolute PTSD textbook nightmare for him. He just fucking loses it and takes himself out.
Thank you, Castro.
We will politely move on from that.
Yeah. We'll let Tap have his time.
Yunjin is here because she was allowing Trickster to get away with... She knew he was killing people and using their screams in his songs. And because the songs were so successful and he was so successful and therefore she was so successful, she was excusing it. And the fact that she didn't kill anybody meant she wasn't doing anything wrong. So she continues to excuse what she did. So even as Pyramid Head is following her down through Silent Hill, past Trickster and all of his victims, she continues to keep denying it until Pyramid Head catches up and gives her the old spanking.
Just see like Trickster fist bumping Pyramid Head as he goes by. Or like handing him the baseball bat. Like, don't worry, buddy, I got you. I'll spot this one for you. Just imagine like that sparkly, glowing ass bat, and Pyramid Head's just like, okay. By the way, did you know that
dragging it behind him?
Technically Pyramid Head is the tallest character in DBD, even above Nemesis?
Really?
Yeah, apparently the top of the pyramid clears Nemesis.
Wow, that's impressive. It's because he's so big.
Yes.
Anyway,
that's a big boy.
So Jill and Bill, after Jonah's death, they're teamed up. Jill really regrets having left people behind in Raccoon City. She did get a team to try to go back to save people, but she couldn't save everybody, and so that is something she's carried with her. Bill, having been somebody left behind, he's actually here from his regrets of his participation in the Vietnam War. Since he is somebody who was left behind in a zombie apocalypse, he's the perfect person to talk to Jill about how well she did, about her. She didn't have to try to go back, but she did, and sometimes you have to accept that there are sacrifices in that scenario, and that he's like, I don't regret staying behind, so I'm sure those people understand in the end. And so he's able to help Jill kind of get through and accept that she did the best that she could in that scenario, and she's able to get out and leave. Bill, however, still has his own demons to deal with from Nam, and realizes that, honestly, this is the hell he's supposed to be in.
Yeah.
And so he just accepts his fate to stay and rot in Silent Hill.
I just imagine, like, Pyramid Head just walks up to him, and he's just like, I'm ready.
Gets that spanking.
Oh, yeah. He might even get instead of the mini Mori, he might get, like, the real one.
Ooh. Yeah. He deserves it.
He does. At least he'll get a moment while Pyramid Head walks away to admire the view.
Yui gives Claudette a pep talk because Claudette is there because of mostly letting down her mom, of her just being very into plants and introverted and not who her mom wanted her to be, and she feels very guilty for that, and like she let her down. And so Yui's talking to her about, hey, you know what, I let my father down. Sometimes you just gotta be your own person. You got to stand up for who you want to be. Your parents don't own your life. Gives her a whole pep talk, and Claudette's like, yeah, I got this. And Yui's like, great, I'm gonna go deal with my shit. So when Yui goes into her part of Silent Hill, she just has to fight a bunch of people to get over her trauma of like someone breaking into her house and any resolved issues that she has with her father not wanting her to be in the motorcycle gang. And she has to
imagine, like, she just walks in and her dad opens his mouth to say something shitty to her. She
punches him.
Kicks him right in the nuts.
She's not afraid to kick ass and prove that she shouldn't feel guilty about it. And she's able to walk out of here free. Claudette, however, goes into her version of Silent Hill. She's repeating everything that Yui told her. And then she faces a monster version of her mom and realizes that she can repeat it all she wants. She doesn't believe it. And so a Pyramid Head catches up to her. She can't fight her mom. She can't fight Pyramid Head. And Claudette, unfortunately, gets clapped. Zarina has been consumed her entire life obsessed with her father's death. She made a whole documentary about it. She started talking to inmates about other stuff. It seemed like in her life that she was actually over it, like the documentary helped, but then turns out she actually is not over her father's death. Kind of understandable. But when she goes to Silent Hill, she is still so consumed by the obsession with her father's death, and it's something she refuses to let go of. And since she cannot let go of that obsession, she cannot leave Silent Hill. Pyramid Head will catch up to her and will take her out. And then Fung and Jane, which is probably one of my favorites. Jane has issues with her mother, who was a celebrity. And when Jane started to become a celebrity of her own, her mother essentially disowned her, did not acknowledge any relation between them. And when Jane had her own talk show, she invited her mom onto the talk show as kind of a reconciliation move. And her mom continued to pretend like this was the first time they were ever meeting, which really just destroyed Jane to the point that she crashed her car. Fung left home to become a super gamer, disappointing her parents, and she ended up spiraling out of control, going to bars, just destroying her life. So she's very upset about disappointing her parents. And so what we have here, as they go into their Silent Hills, is a double hallucination. Fung sees Jane as her mom. Jane sees Fung as her mom. And Jane starts beating the shit out of Fung.
She's gonna get over it, damn it.
She's ready to take on her mommy issues. But unfortunately, she does kill Fung. And when she realizes that she's killed Fung, she also realizes that wasn't enough, and she's still not over her mommy issues. And Pyramid Head comes dragging his cleaver around the corner to take out Jane. Now, through all of this trauma that everyone has been enduring, there is our dearest Jeff. Jeff's biggest regret in going to the fog is that his dog was left behind with his friend or roommate or whatever it was. And he just wants to check that his dog's okay. So he's in the other Silent Hill and there's no cell phone reception. He's wandering around this place trying to find somewhere there's reception. Every time he thinks there might be, he sends a message, but it never goes through. And he eventually finds a very tall building and he thinks that's my hope. So he goes to the tall building and he makes his way all the way to the very top. When he gets there, he opens a door and inside is a supercomputer with all of these monitors set up everywhere, dead bodies on all of the screens, people that he had seen just hours before. And a chair sits in the middle, and as it slowly turns around, there he is. Jeff's dog, waiting for him the whole time. They reunite. It's beautiful. The dog leaps into Jeff's arms. He pets him. He rubs his tummy. He has some dog treats stashed away in his pocket that he forgot about. Cheryl. I'm not gonna play the clip again. Cheryl's here because of dreams of gore. And when she spoke to everyone earlier, and everyone kind of discussed why they might have been here, and she said that, everyone was like, the fuck does that mean? And she was just like, nightmares! She has a secret weapon that she has found, which is a wand, and she does a Sailor Moon transformation that gives her the power of Sexy Beam. And so while she may have nightmares of gore, they are no match for Sexy Beam because she can Sexy Beam her way through everything. And one of the biggest allures of the Sexy Beam is that it attracts Ash's attention. So Ash, seeing the sexy beam in the distance, flocks to it like a moth to a flame. And he and Cheryl, wherever her sexy beam doesn't hit, Ash is there with a shotgun to take out what's left standing. And the two of them successfully leave Silent Hill.
Which, by the way, Ash has been free to leave for a while now.
Oh, yeah. Ash got over his shit in round 1 and decided to stay for the adventure. Because it's not about just getting over your guilt and regrets. It's the sexy Cheryls you find along the way.
He's actively trying to recruit her.
Hey, you know what? She's in the friend group with Steve.
They get out of Silent Hill and his beater ass of a car is just waiting out there. With his little trailer full of used condoms and shit.
Oh, God. He doesn't throw them away.
Oh, my God.
All right. Do we want to go ahead and just get Cenobite out of the way next week?
Yeah, I mean, we were supposed to do it next, and we didn't. So,
Okay.
we kind of should.
Yeah. And then Trickster we could probably do soon because the last piece of the tome came out finally.
Yes.
So, Cenobite next week. Trickster soon. We're almost done.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We have Leatherface, Nemesis, and Artist.
Hold on. Let me take a look here. Let's see, what killers do we have? I'm not looking forward to Leatherface. I don't know why. Let's see. Did it. So Bubba. Did it. Yeah, Bubba, Trickster, Nemesis, Peenhead, and the Artist. Not to be confused with our artist.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We can start playing games and stuff on Mondays.
Oh my god. Although I still want to
see.
do which of like the killers who would actually be able to kill the entity. Other
Oh
than
yeah, that's right.
other than Pyramid Head, because I feel like he's kind of he's gonna win. Like Pyramid Head, I think could literally kill any of them with a single clap of his ass cheeks. So
So Cenobite, Trickster, Nemesis, and Artist would be January 17th because we're going to be out on this 10th.
yes.
And then we do the episode of Everyone Fights the Entity. Yeah, we'll still have like a whole 2 months before there's another chapter, I think.
My god, we're actually gonna like do other shit.
Yeah.
What is this?
Weird.